Hello!
Hello there.
Hi, guys! Wow, how are we doing?
Oh no, my mic's on. I can hear myself. No.
Mute the stream when you know you're gonna be on the stream!
I was like, oh yeah, the lo-fi is always fun to listen to when Blue Stream starts up. And then I'm like, wait, no, I'm in it this time. My ears.
Thank you, my playlist is very good, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi,
So hello,
Rex!
chat. Hey, Rex.
Something I learned literally yesterday is that apparently by downloading additional software, because I don't run enough programs when I'm streaming, I could potentially do inbuilt audio splitting, so it would think that Spotify is a separate audio source. And apparently OBS has a feature hidden in the settings, it is apparently hidden away, where you can designate different audio channels and it will automatically mute it on the VOD. Which, if I went through the process of getting that program and enabling it, I think technically means I could listen to anything I wanted to, music-wise.
It would.
Because
it
wouldn't appear on the VOD, so I wouldn't get copyright claimed for it.
Oh, it wouldn't appear on the VOD, but would it appear on the stream?
Yeah, it would appear on the stream, but I don't think you can get claimed like. Well, it's the VOD that gets claimed because the VOD is the record of the stream.
But if the VODs aren't something that you're monetizing, you don't need to worry about it. But also, they might get taken down, so there's the other side of it.
Yeah, I would have to. What I would have to do, I think, is if I went through the whole process of setting it up, which would take a while, is do like a 5-minute test and literally just play a song that I'm like, I know this one song will get flagged, then end the stream and see if I get one flag for it.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, that's the only way I can do it. Hi! Yes, you started a stream that I can actually watch. Yes, because I'm streaming in the evening.
Hey, baby.
Hey. Yeah, a lot of things to mention. Literally, here's something that I noticed as I was getting the stream set up is I actually updated VC Face today. I haven't updated it in probably about 6 months. And for a while I was like, my camera just doesn't look right, and I like reset it and repositioned it, so I'm probably not in exactly the same position. It might be a bit bigger, it might be a bit smaller, because like I can't tell. And literally as I was getting the stream ready, I realised as I was sort of leaning in my chair, I was like, oh, this thing is registering. It's registering depth as I'm.
Someone throw a ball at her. Someone throw a ball at her.
I'm rocking backwards and forwards on my chair.
Yeah, you have a duty. Throw a ball.
I was like, it's registering my distance from the screen now. What? So I was like, no wonder my camera looks weird, because I'm leaning backwards and forwards from the screen as I'm trying to work things out. And I'm like, what? Ow. Gee, see? Unnecessary. Lean back.
It does launch you back.
Lean it back.
Oh, you're gonna get pelted when Core and them show up.
So yeah, and I'm like, I don't know if I like this because it's going to be very obvious when I'm hunching into the screen. But yeah, we have like depth. Ow, ow! We've got like depth added on the camera.
Yeah. My partner reduces violence. Yeah.
Also, side note, I found a button. It's called the R button. R stands for ragdoll.
Oh. The fluff just went bye-bye on my screen.
And then was very hit with a well-timed football. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, I literally just noticed that in the last 10 minutes. I was like, why can I not get this camera correct? And I'm like, oh, it's got like a weird depth on it. I don't know if I like it. And I don't know if there's a new setting somewhere for me to turn it on or off, because as I said, I updated the program and I never update it. So I'm a little bit on the baffled side, honestly.
Speaking of being on the baffled side, with this miniature, I primed him today after I came back from getting a haircut. So I did it as I normally do, which is, you know, the glove or like any one of the clips that I have, because I now have small little like standing points for clips for like the head and such to hold them on. But they're more useful for painting. And I was like holding it at the max distance, glove on, everything, and I sprayed it, and it's come out quite. It's almost like there's a layer of a flake atop it, which I'm not a fan of, and I've been scraping off with the soft end of the knife. So I've just been like, you know, running it across and just removing it and just like dabbing it on a cloth here in front of me just to get rid of it. The frog has made the very clever suggestion that, because again, this is the same reason why it's funny in real life as well, doing a camo pattern of it akin to a tank.
Ooh.
And I'm there looking at it going, I don't dislike that notion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the first dreadnought I'm going to make, and I'm going to do a bit of work on him to essentially a few bits of him I've gotten scraped off, so I'm going to like make that look like some kind of bullet damage kind of thing, you know, like it's a dented in steel or kind of thing. So try to make it work. He's also meant to be an incredibly old model, because these guys came out in the basically not even in 40k. They came out in what's referred to as Horus Heresy, which is the it's the campaign that happened, which is basically half the Chaos guys said, nah, I'm gonna head out.
Yeah.
And they came out at that time. So the thing about them is that they have what's referred to as Dark Age of Technology designs. What that means is, and the Dark Age of Technology wasn't Dark Age in that it was an ignorant time. It was Dark Age in that, oh, this is where the limited ethics of the 40k universe went out the window. Just everything got worse. But it's also called the Dark Ages because they were using a lot more AI. And now they and now the AI actually went, actually, you know what? We don't want to work for humans anymore. Fuck it. And they proceeded to try and kill all humans. You know, Bender was a great influence for a lot of them. So what they ended up having to do was, like, there's a very, very small number of them that still exist, but most of them were, like, you know, decommissioned and the like, and like, okay, no more mechs, no more AI. So, and this is why you've probably seen them in 40k before, Blue, a thing referred to as a servo skull, which is just a floating skull with a bit of mechanical bits dangling off of it. If you haven't...
I've not, but that sounds very silly.
It is, but it's less silly and more dark as fuck, because that's a person.
Oh, so it's a demi-lich.
No.
It's a demi-lich, but we don't have magic.
It's not a demi-lich, it's more of a imp. It's designed like a demi-lich, but it's an imp. It's basically, they don't trust AI, so that's a person's brain functioning, that mechanics. So the person who that skull was once attached to, spinal cord included, is now just a floating servo head that helps and performs menial tasks. So yes, Darkest Sin. Dark Age. My lights went off, it's too fucking dark. Can't see shit. But that's why, like, say, dreadnoughts are also a thing of they're not a AI. It's not like a robot in there. It's a person. And in the typical grim dark way, it's like, oh, this is a person who has gotten the worst possible luck. Because what's ended up happening is the easiest comparison I can give to you, Blue, would be you know how in Thane's backstory he got more or less decapitated?
Yes.
That would be that if you added an extra like limb being taken off and then said, but he survived, the Space Marines would look at that and go,
he got dugged.
yeah. If you get dugged, actually is a very apt
Because
descriptor.
that is kind of what happened to Doug.
Doug, we love you. Feel better, bud. Hope you've all worked out. But if you get dugged, I guess is another fair way to say it, you get put in a sarcophagus.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about the dreadnoughts is that the dreadnoughts themselves are they're not the guy. The dreadnought is actually a chassis, like, you know, a mecha that the coffin gets put into, like plugged in, more or less. And then they pilot them because the coffin has like some amniotic fluid or some equivalent, and all the cables in it just like hook up to whatever's left of the somehow still alive Doug in this situation's brain.
Right.
And he goes to sleep, and it gets more and more difficult to wake him up the longer it gets. The further away from the original time it is that he was, it gets more difficult to rouse him and wake him. So you can just literally have this ancient slumbering dreadnought in the depths of like a chapter's flagship or something similar. But like, you know, tech priests wake them up and like other things like that, where they're roused by their brothers kind of thing. And most dreadnoughts, not all, but most, are old, as in they're from a bygone age or other such things. There's one dreadnought who is actually over, like, I think he's over like 8 or 10,000 years old. Like, I think maybe because he's a dreadnought, he doesn't count, but he is considered the oldest living Space Marine outside of the Primarchs, because there is a guy who is the oldest functioning Space Marine, like he is a guy who walks around, and then there's this guy. Then there's this guy. He gets woken up once every 100 years, either to run hands with the biggest threat that that particular chapter is facing at the time, or to tell stories. And part his wisdom, because he's the only direct link they have to their Primarch, because their Primarch is gone off doing an Odin.
God dang it. Never do an Odin.
Never do an Odin. But that's kind of what he is to them. So he's like, you know, the last reach crossed, and he's kind of a badass. So, alternatively, Blue Sky Wolf was not caught. Fucking hell. Oh, God. Damn it, honey.
I could always do this. This isn't programmed in yet.
What are you doing?
I want a snack. Mmm.
You're not meant to feed a dog cheese or a wolf. I don't think it's meant to be for a wolf.
It's fine. Num 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 num.
No!
Throw the cheese.
Hang on, that's a sec.
It's not set up yet.
Yeah. Rock found it hilarious.
I'm a no.
I don't activate it. Yeah. I think you are going to be induced with a lot more violence now, Fluff, I'm afraid, because it's now more funny.
It's not active, so...
Well, I'm more made for the right goal. Let's see.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not 100% sure if I like the fact that it now takes my distance from my camera into account, but I don't know how to turn it off.
But here's the thing, though. We can use that for inducing posture check.
This is true. It'll be a lot more obvious when I'm shrimping.
Oh, Lord, she's shrimping.
Shrimp.
One day, when you have the time, money, and inkling, there will be shrimp emotes.
Wing stretches as you lean forward. Oof, God, that would be interesting. Because obviously the tracker is only for a face tracker, so I don't actually know how I would implement actual wing movements.
But yes, Rex, I was referring to Bjorn the Fell-Handed. And he is considered one of the oldest living Space Marines, but not really, like he's 3/4 dead, basically. But in Space Marine culture, it's like, oh, he became a dreadnought. That is an honor to him and his chapter. You know, like he gets to fight on and serve the Emperor more. Chaos? It's not. It is so not for them. Because Chaos literally were like, oh, the Emperor is using us as pawns in his machinations. We will break these chains and we will be free of them. Oh no, we died? I guess we're going to put you in a suit and we're only going to pull you out to kill things for us in the future. It's like, no! My agency! Don't put me in a box!
Uh-oh.
Don't make me a marketable plushie!
Yeah!
And eventually, because it's Chaos and everything has to be worse for Chaos, they tend to eventually fuse with these suits, and you can't take the coffin off the suit anymore. And they, well, the ones that you can, like, you know, there comes a stage where that is no longer the case, but for a while you still can. They actually have to chain up the coffins, like the suits, which have no agency themselves, in case a portion of that Chaos Space Marine's soul lingered in the suit and tries to kill things. Because they hate their existence. They want out.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough of that for now. And now let's try to get on the green paint.
Open up the reference again.
But me and Stacy went into part of Warhammer over the weekend. Stacy was kind of like treating me for a little bit.
Aww.
And they're having this really sweet thing on where it's in honor of the fact that the 27th of May will be their anniversary. So they had a pick box. But what you did was you reached in, you picked out 3, you picked one of the minis, and you could do whatever you wanted to that mini, paint it, set it up, do whatever, bring it back, and if you, like, everyone votes for, like, whose mini was the best, you know?
Oh, okay.
And whoever wins gets a prize.
Oh, that's neat.
So I got a tech priest, which is like, you know, the old geriatric. It's like if Nemo was a mech, basically. If Nemo was a mech was an easy way to describe it. In that way, if you'd expect Zero Little to be like a geriatric, like old thing, it's like that if it was a mech. Or a demon takes control of the suit. Yes, Rex, that is the other side of it. But that is also the woe of anyone who has to deal with chaos. Every time I see a chaos player, like, we like getting freed and, like, super powerful. It's like, it's always with the cost, fucker.
Voss!
Hello, boss.
Voss!
Stacy, shut up!
You! How dare you not inform me in advance that it is your birthday?
Wait, it's Voz's birthday today?
Apparently!
Boss, happy birthday, Voz!
I was not aware!
Boss, how dare? Leave the stream immediately. Get out.
Apparently, unless I'm a day out, in which case I just made a fool of myself, but that's also fine, because I do that anyway when I'm streaming.
You do that for free!
Yeah!
If you want to really make a fool of her, sub to her. Pay her for the action. But happy birthday, Voz. I hope you've had a wonderful day.
Happy birthday. And I say, how dare you not tell me in advance, because I had no time to try and get a gift for you. Because I don't have any money, so it would have been an art gift, but I haven't had any time to do art.
But then you would have just felt bad about not being able to do it. Instead, paid for it for the next year. Something nice. You'll know this. It's the 18th. You'll know it for next year.
Yeah.
But so Blue, the thing that I've been thinking about is that so in the Horus Heresy, the older like Dark Age of Mechanicum gear, or Dark Age of Technology gear, like the tech of a Siege Leviathan Siege Dreadnought, you can't access them all. They're gone. Like you won't be able to get the schematics. They can't be remade. They're that old. They're that powerful. So at the time back in the day, like there was a lot more interaction between, like, say, the Adeptus Mechanicus, which are like the mech guys of the Imperium, and everyone else. So I have this guy over here, and he is a Tech Priest Dominus, which is like a relatively competent Tech Priest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take him, I'm going to paint him up, and I'm going to give him a green stuffed cloak akin to my captain that you saw previously. But I'm going to make it like an old granddad's shawl. Like he's been with the salamanders all this time taking care of the siege dreadnought. So they like treat him like an old uncle, you know, like an affectionate kind of like cute little thing. Because they're the salamanders. They can be cute and adorable with sentimental things because they get very sentimental. So I'm gonna have some fun doing that.
That's neat.
Neat little concept. Until I can get a tech priest or a tech marine myself to bring into this army. At which case, because this is 40k, I'll have that guy be killed off. And it's like, or in a narrative, it's like, oh, who am I currently fighting? Yeah, they killed off the tech priest that was working with the salamanders, and he is not the salamanders R2D2, Stacy. Shut the fuck up.
But they could be.
If they were the salamanders R2D2, they'd have gone and found Vulcan. They would have solved all the problems because they're R2D2 and they carry the fucking thing. Yes, Stacy, in the corner. But Stacy got a oh, what's the name of the character? A really cool character. Ursula Creed, a Castellan of the Imperium. So like, you know, a war leader of the Imperium. And she's one of the few badass chicks. Oh. Yes, they are the most wholesome chapter Rex. You're quite correct. They can be. Another thing which drew me to them when I was originally joining up. And what Blue has realized with, or what Stacey's realized with Blue, with Ursula Creed, is that she's basically, because she's got shorter hair, she's like white haired as well, because she's like an older woman. She's basically if Ash was in the 40k universe. So, you know, she's having all the fun with that. She has to do the face of it, which will, like, she's literally, because smaller models like that have a sincere issue in that they have to, you need a magnifying glass to get their eyes because they are actually tiny.
Oh god.
Like, you've seen, like, probably seen, like, Space Marine models, you've seen anything akin to them. It's like, wow, getting the eyes on that is really difficult. It's like, yeah, you don't get the eye. You actually just, like, paint the eye in general in that area, and then you cover it over with whatever the helmet or anything else that's coming into contact would be.
Yeah. With
her, though, she needs, like, a pin to paint that fucker. So it'll be a real challenge, that will be. I'm also using a brush that I have not used since I painted the salamander tank that I have. And, oh yeah, Stacey's currently getting a photo of it. Just posted in the VRChat hunt of the thing. Probably the best thing. Also, Blue, carrying on your spirit in the arts and crafts style, over the weekend as well, I wanted to get a knife, for like a sharp Stanley knife for, you know, sculpting the minis with and such. Because I realized it when I was doing the sorry, I'm talking like Mike Wazowski because I had the knife, a pen, brush in my mouth. I wanted to, like, you know, sculpt it better or like get like sharper, thinner cuts on the back with the cloak. I would have been able to like make it much more refined. So, you know, that's a for next time kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like doing it yesterday where I was like, oh yeah, this little bit from the mold didn't break off properly or cut off. I'll just scrape it off with a knife. Yes. Immediately cut myself.
Oh, God's sake.
But it was only like a prick on the tip of the finger, but it was still like a god damn it.
I'm just looking at references at the moment, guys.
Yeah. But over on my Twitter for mini painting, which is Daz Paints, I posted up a picture last night of the legs of the Dreadnought and all the other pieces next to it, and the legs of the Dreadnought, like up to the hip, are taller than my tallest infantry unit. He's fucking huge. Big chunky boy. He is my big chunky boy. So I'm literally painting him in like 3 sections now, where it's or actually, how many sections do I have? I have his head. I've got the cover for the head. I've got the 2 guns, the legs, and the arms. I got like 5 pieces I'm painting him in before I glue them together. Because the other thing we got when we were in last was a it's 2 little stands with a bunch of little spikes on them.
I heard that you can mix parts from other units to create a new one. Yes, it's referred to as kit bashing.
Yes, very much
funnily
so.
enough, is a term that has carried over into VRC.
Yeah, it's a very common...
kit bash things in VRC as well these days.
It's a very common tactic. Sorry, no, go on.
Yeah, I believe Warhammer is where the term kit bashing comes from, but don't quote me on that. So I just find it amusing that it's a term that's being used now in a VRC sense.
I was going to say,
buy avatars.
I take it it's called that because they're taking assets from different sections of different models.
Yes, 100%.
Ah.
So I've got a leggy avatar at the moment that I'm using, which is what my camera has, and you could say like the leggy comes with these wiggly ears, and you could technically take those ears off if you wanted to, and put them on another avatar. And it's a thing that a lot of people have recently started doing. Obviously, it's a lot of work, and generally for a lot of cases, it would require you to go into a blender like this, and you would have to go in and literally like cut them out. So it's a lot of work if you don't know how to do it. But it is something that I've seen people doing, and there are assets that you can buy that are like just ears or just tails, and you could mix and match them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they are generally referred to as kit bashing. The term comes from Warhammer, because you buy Warhammer models in kits.
Do you want a 3D printer? Bother. Honestly, I don't have the financial things to even like get the materials to print with right now, but at present, because I'm... Oh, a 3D printed bolter. Like what? Like one for a miniature? Because...
I don't know what a bolter is. Hi, Cookie!
So, Blue, a bolter is basically the Space Marines assault rifle, but instead of shooting an assault rifle... Wait, what do you mean, Rex? You have a full-scale bolter that...
Well, if it's 3D printed, Das, people just need to get the 3D file and then they scale it up. I've seen that before. I've seen someone 3D print a full-scale Warhammer, like, space wolf claw that was, like, IRL size that they could wear. That's the magic of 3D printers.
Rex, I'm sorry, but, like, I'm still amazed at you, like... Oh, you can print one out when you get your... Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, currently, I'm not in the situation to financially be like, yes, please, take this and do that with it.
They have no money.
I currently have no money. Who knows? Maybe that problem gets solved tomorrow. Touch the wood.
Fingers crossed.
I should not shout "touch the wood" on Twitch stream. But the ammunition that a bolter uses, Blue, isn't like bullets. They're essentially like mini grenades with hollow points at the front. So they punch through something and then they explode. So like, this is why, like, say, a Space Marine volley of shots can... Where it's like, oh, that should only, like, take out the first few, like, guys in a line. Like, no, that's why it punched out an entire, like, unit of 30 fellas. Just went from just 10 rounds from these guys. Like, they just deleted them. Well, Rex, I was more really saying that I presume I'd have to pay, at the very least, for, like, getting it to me, but, like...
Aw, Rex.
Rex, that's an incredibly... I was about to say, Rex, that's an incredibly sweet offer. I would be incredibly flattered to receive one of those. I think the problem most also would lie is that if I were to receive a bolter, I imagine Stacey might be staring at me right now from the other side going, where the fuck are we gonna put it? Because bolters are bigger than So if it was like one that's like, oh, it's meant to be a prop that a person can hold, it'll probably be about like 2 foot long, maybe-ish.
So, shipping.
Yeah, shipping's the other one that Stacey just said, but like, they're big.
Big.
They are not small. They are large. It's like I think there was that picture that Simon had of him holding a to scale model chainsword, and the thing was nearly as tall as him.
Ah, yes.
Like, they are not a small tool because they're meant to be used by guys who are perpetually in suits of power armor. They're the guys from Fallout. If the entire army was built with guys from Fallout in those like power suits. But then, hello, Cor. How are you doing, mother?
Hi, cool.
But I apologize as well, Rex. I don't mean to be dismissive of it as well. It's just kind of caught me off back foot with that.
I can tell from your voice. I can hear the flabbergasted tone in your voice.
Also, because if I just have one of those, it's like, you do realize I'm always bringing that in with me whenever I go into Warhammer and going, this is mine, you can't have it.
Happy a value whistling.
How the fuck did you attack? How do I say that? You know what I mean? How did you do the Control I to your fucking text in Twitch? How did you do that? I didn't know you could do that. Look, I'm definitely dyslexic. Fuck off.
That's me here, like, how the fuck did you make that sound with your mouth?
I am an NDNB. Ba la 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 la. Sometimes I hope you can just hear Frog's little noises and giggles in the background. Perfect. Get up, you troublemaker. Love you.
Imagine a tank which fires wide lasers and causes penetrating cluster explosion damage. Oof.
That's basically a dreadnought. A dreadnought is like, but what if you made that just a guy in a suit?
Oh, it uses /me? Jesus, that's from like Skype era messaging.
Oh Christ. I only just registered that, what that was from. I was like, where the fuck do I know /me from?
Yeah, it's like this. That's how you're meant to do it, because like your name would appear in italics in Skype or whatever.
Ah.
So it would just look like a combined sentence. It doesn't really work in Twitch because Twitch doesn't use the same formatting. That's so weird that they kept that.
That's actually wild, not gonna lie. Entirely caught me off left field.
Yesterday I was in another chat playing around with their TTS bot, which was very funny.
Go on.
I found the whisper command. So they were doing like a bit of like talking to the chat, and their TTS bot is a character. So you would type the voice as the character, and the bot would like it's a character on their screen like a PNG tuber, and it says.
Oh yes, I've seen them before. They're
yeah,
like a cute little pigeon or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were doing a bit where they were like on the phone to somebody, and they were like, "Chat's being weird." So I typed in the TTS voice bots, and I discovered the whisper command. So I had the TTS bot whisper, "Chat, behave. Guys, it is fine. Do not worry about it. Chat, I swear to God, I will kill you." It was very dumb. It was very dumb.
1 sec there, just a hot second. I've got to put on my apron. There we go. Headset's come back on. I'm just hyper aware that I'm now leaning a little bit into this, and I'm like, okay, gonna make sure I make no mistakes on Norse villages.
Great.
Because yes, this apron has saved my clothes in the past.
Yes, it's a good idea. Ah, thank you.
Oh, hang on. Let me control S my dreadnought. How do I do that?
Take a photo of it.
I've been doing the whips on the Twitter anyway, so like I actually have been taking photos of it.
Well, there you go then. Now I post check for you, so you're not shrimping.
Don't hold that for. Don't alter 4 out of real life.
Oh God, please don't.
Please don't.
Yeah.
You are loved and deserving of love. Anyway.
Yeah. On a lighter topic, because Core and Cookie weren't here earlier, I updated some things, and my settings have changed, and also, my camera appears to have depth now. And I don't know why. But it can tell when I am leaning forward to the camera. So hello. I don't know why.
Lou, you should do that when you can maximize your screen so that you look huge. Like, you know, you take up the full thing and just go. Like,
this button
like,
here.
you've got games on your phone.
Games on your phone? Sounds like somebody's being a little bitch.
Blue.
Doing a sniffer.
You smell like a baka. Aaron Yeager.
No.
Oh, Christ alive. What am I like? I think I've actually nearly reached the end of one of these paint tubs as well. It took making an entire army, but I'm nearly at the end of it, which honestly is like really good value.
It's a VC face setting. I think so, yeah, because as I said, I've updated some stuff that I just had not updated for months. And yeah, I updated VC face, and now I can do this, which is bizarre. And it's very weird because it doesn't look like it's doing it on VC face, but it definitely looks like it's doing it in my throwable program, which is the one that I'm actually capturing.
Throw balls at her. Throw balls at her.
No. So yeah, there's probably, because I updated VC face, there's probably a setting somewhere that's like turned itself back off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Balls.
Okay, I'm out.
No.
The way the arms go up. Ow! The way the arms fly up into the air.
That would be like a really interesting thing if like you could time the abduction with you going ragdoll just before it. So you fall, then you get yanked back up like woo!
Yeah. I think some of the redeems trigger ragdolls. Like the Arcanine and the Reboot trigger a ragdoll on collision.
That's its there, so this needs okay. I'm literally holding pieces together, looking at it and going, does this need to be painted or is this going to get covered up like glue? And look at it go, no, that piece isn't going to cover it. It needs to be painted. Boxes.
Inboxed.
So, Blue, do you want to tell the good folks about how our last session of D&D went?
It went fine.
Legitimately, it did. That's not even a joke this time.
You know, ow. It's just a nice bit of combat, which is a very rare thing to say for D&D, you could say. But it actually was, though, of like... It always feels like it's been a hot minute since we've done any combat, so it's always just like, oh god, how does
even though we had combat 2 sessions ago.
Yeah, but those 2 sessions were like a full month ago.
And
it's like, shit. Ah! Throwing things!
I will say as well, it felt quite like also Cookie. Save up your things so that you can throw 10 at once. But the thing about it that I found quite fun was, and I think this is like something that you might attribute if you look at like say things like Dragon Age that you've been playing, is going to somewhere where it's like slightly lower difficulty, or not so much so, but like, oh, you've leveled up, you've become more powerful. Engage just God damn it. Goodbye. She has been stolen. Stop abducting her, god damn it. Mara's tried to do that plenty. Well no, she tried to do the Cordelia more.
I don't think tried is the right word there. She succeeded.
Yeah. But she did with Cordelia, you were fine.
Yeah.
You got better.
Oh, I got better.
Did you? But physically, mentally, spiritually, moving on. So, for those who were wondering, in Curls' campaign, we had previously fought everything in this battle, and at several instances, many of the things we had fought in this battle had been their own individual, like, this is the boss, quote-unquote, boss of the zone kind of vibe.
We started this campaign at level 1, but we did motor through level 1 very quickly, so we kind of really just we properly started at level 3. And at level 3, one of these guys was a boss fight, and we took out, like, 6 of them. Like, they were fodder.
Yes, and the other side of it was, we would take full advantage that. So these particular enemies would be.
I'm going to send you a picture of a bolt around that I had 3D printed. Put it in the art channel on Discord because Das would probably like to see it.
Oh yes, I'll have to get that up on the thing now. Just a sec after I paint this chassis. And also, I think if you have a can of Coke, Rex, put it next to it to realize how big the fucking round
Coke
is.
For scale. Banana for scale.
No, legitimately, the thing is probably the size of a can of Coke anyway, in canon. So, VRChat. Oh, Stacey, you didn't post up herself into the. Oh, directed to put it in the VRChat.
Send it in private because she's scared.
She shouldn't be scared.
Don't need to be scared. It's a safe place.
Yeah. Anyone who talks shit, I'll just ban them.
No, you go to me, and then I okay it, and then you ban them.
Yes, that's what I always do. I'm joking. I'm joking. I've thankfully not had to ban anyone.
Yes, I'm very glad that we've never had to deal with that. So
Yes.
I have a nice community. Yay.
Yet I say, threatening you all with a hand flamethrower. Oh, burn the furries. There is a very weird running joke about Space Marines fighting furries, and I don't know why.
I couldn't say, that one's lost on me.
Like a bunch.
What?
Yeah, there's anyone who's ever seen it. It's the art's weird. The art's weird. I'm not even sure you can find it on YouTube. It's got some weird stuff in it. Just one of those things that you see and it's like, this scarred me. Why the fuck did my friend make me watch this? So take it with a pinch of salt. If you go there, you're doing it of your own volition. I'm not encouraging it. Shut you.
Sorry, I thought you said.
No, I'm saying it to the chat. Frog behind me is like, let's have conversation. I'm like, stream.
Hurry.
No, furries. Stacy thought I said Space Marines fighting hurry.
They wouldn't dare.
They wouldn't dare. Tala would fucking. Then they would be fighting a space furry. She'd become a space furry by the fact that she'd be a furry in space, ergo space furry. But to continue with our thing, as Blue said, yes, we fought about 6 of them, but like even to that point, when we initially encountered some of these guys, we would actively like, they would be resurrected or like brought up in like slightly weaker states, and we would actively try to do as much as we could before they fully constituted themselves and fully established themselves as a threat to us. So to now look at it and go, here's a full squad of these guys. Go kick the crap out of them. Because there was a the big guys, which were probably the earliest encounter we had. There was a witch who pretty much is a sea witch who serves as the commander, shall we say. She's probably like the intelligent one at the back, always giving the orders, which is unfortunate for her because that puts her as a target.
Mm-hmm.
There's also very, 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 very large boys who we have in the past actively prevented from getting an opportunity to fight us. One of our party members has the ability to shoot a gun which would knock someone down from their turret, like shove them back 5 foot. And as this thing was climbing up a wall to come and fight us, he just kept shooting it, going, no, no,
Nope.
no, no, no.
Not back spam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so.
If
To the point
anybody
where
tunes into the Friday streams, the mage that hangs out at the back is literally just me every time we see a white mage in Final Fantasy Tactics. I just go, mage spotted! That's how every combat encounter goes with them now. As soon as we see them, it's like, you need to die!
yes, because they can do like fear-based spells, and they do a lot of like warlock style, like darker magics and
There's
so
a lot of
on.
debuffs and things like that. Stuff that's just very, very annoying for a player. Makes sense from an enemy's perspective, which is partly why it is so annoying as a player, because it's like, of course it makes sense. God damn you, how dare you be smart?
How dare you be intelligent in your combat? But there was also these assassins. These assassins have a very bad habit of dying in the proximity of Thane. Because the first one...
It's an occupational hazard.
It is an occupational hazard for them to be around Thane. So, one of the characters, we had encountered 2 druids, one of which we had met previously and had assisted on a quest before at her request. A blind druid named Sadu. I believe a wood elf woman or a dark-skinned humanoid. I'm not quite sure which one she was. She wore a hijab, so again, it's like, oh, does the character know? No, can't see the ears. Which is fair, of course. So we encounter it, and the other druid is a treant, which is quite cool.
Hey.
Yeah, that's the size of the bloody Jesus, and that's not to scale. That's not to scale. That is horrifying. That's probably like a third of the scale of what it should be. People have said it to me before, where it's like they're explosive cans of Coke that get thrown at people with bolt rounds. And that's just standard issue ammo for a Space Marine. So, yeah, that's fair. I mean, in fairness, that's probably like a max print anyway, a ridiculously heavy print to do anyway. So, the other one is a druid. We've later find out that they're a druid. They're a druid treant person, as in they are what you would do as a player to play a treant, which is a quite fun thing. It's like, oh, that's a nice concept. Oh, that's cool. And their turn comes around. So the initiative happens where it's essentially, I think, 1 or 2 people, then Tala and the Switch, and then it's this Willow Blight, which is the treant druid, is in the middle. Then it's Zal and Thane at the bottom.
Thank you.
So we're fighting, and Willow Blight looks over at Tala, who can see her, because we snuck up. Well, I should preface this: the rest of the party snuck up on this. Thane walked straight at this casually approached problem, threatening with malicious intent and hammer. And the DM said, you get to do 1 action. Not all of you get to do 1 action. 1 person, 1 action. So Zal used his shield, which has a plant-based effect akin to Wall of Stone, which is just summon a massive wall of thorny trees that just erupt out and push something back.
It's just such a useful thing.
Useful.
Just divide the area in half. Also, I was focusing for a bit there, so I didn't check chat. Look, you're talking about being in the valley. Yes, they're space chickens.
Space chickens.
Hide the KFC.
Well, I'm a salamander, so I'm gonna...
It's all my friend could print at the time. Also, I have a Black Templars flag on my wall. Ooh.
Oh, that's a cool, they're a, very religious, Space Marine order. To the point where they're fanatical to most others. Like, they'd be the ones who, they're the ones who chant, purge the Xenos, burn the witch, and destroy the heretic, those kind of chants. And it takes, a Primarch stepping in to go, no, chew, you're not allowed to do that. And it's yeah, they're the one guys who not only physically could defy them in this situation and, guarantee kick their ass, but also, I outrank you. Back up to full. Break time for frogs to have a sleeping being. What is she?
Chippy! Aw, cute.
Aww. One of the lads from your Welsh based Welsh.
I want wish.
Wales.
Wish. That's
Wish.
I want to. I want to say Eli. No, I know that's not how it's pronounced. Or is that how it's pronounced? It's been a while since
How
I've
close
seen
is she
them.
on? Is it Eli? Or is it a different name for that one?
Ely.
Ely, right.
Probably saw it written
I
down.
thought I was probably not pronouncing it correctly because Welsh.
Sure. Where on earth was I? So, to continue the D&D side of it, we had Willow Blight fighting this big one, this big stompy, tentacle slammy one. And Willow Blight was fighting and then looked to Tala, who could see past these trees, and said, "Help her, please, she's down." Tala looks across and sees that Sada has been knocked down and is bleeding out with an assassin atop her. So, of course, Tala does what she should do in this situation and calls the doctor and shouts for Thane.
Tala's not a fucking healer. She was like, cool, I can't deal with that problem.
And much like the running gag of "oh bap betty bana bam bana bap betty bana bam," with the character just fucking booking it across the screen with it on, Thane in one turn got to her and then healed her back up and stared this assassin in the face, going, "Fuck you gonna do? Ain't gonna do shit now, Chief. I'm here." And did Thane hurt this assassin? Kill this assassin? No. Did he entirely stop this assassin from doing anything for the rest of the fight? Yes.
Yay!
Which is the fun part of being a tank. And to further add on to the debuffs that she could give us, this the Sea Witch, not Sea Witch, that's not fair, Pride Sorceress, she caused out a fear effect and was like, "Okay, everyone make saves." And I just sat there smiling happily going, "Zeta and I don't have to roll because I am a pal, ding dong."
Yay! God, I
And
wish
then
that
it
was me.
was, yeah. Then we had that realization.
2 words to make Blue cry. Make a wisdom save.
A wisdom save. Blue, that's 4. Shit, this bitch can't even count. Daphne's gonna fail the wisdom save.
I can't make wisdom saves.
Honestly, you need to like just play a druid and just like go, haha, wisdom save, go burr.
Yeah, but then Fate would be like, no. You roll a 1.
Then pick up the lucky feat, the 5 fate, motherfucker. That was one fun part of
Wisdom saves for me are literally my Murph rolls, which is a joke that only Dimension 20 fans get. But it is. I roll 5, but if it's a wisdom save, it's a Murph
You're
roll.
fucked.
And even on the Murph roll, like they even said, it's like if you need to, it's not even that he rolls bad, he rolls wrong. Because
bad,
if he ever needs to roll low, he will roll high.
Yep.
That's how wisdom saves are for me. If it's like, oh well, maybe failing this one wouldn't be too bad. Nah, you're fine. And it's like, what the fuck?
Like, oh yeah, do you want to fail this thing so that my aura effect can affect you? Nope. Succeeded. It's like, shit. So, eventually, the party began casually approaching the rest of the problem because, bless her heart, the DM very considerately has let us try to build up a kind of a team of NPCs to basically
very cool.
go in. Yeah, it's a really cool concept.
We're building up for the end boss, guys. It's one of those things where I was once asked, like, if D&D goes to level 20, then how the hell are there CR 30 monsters? And I was like, you get allies as you play. It's like, yeah, your party may only go to level 20, but because D&D is action-based, the more people you have helping you, the more in your favour it will get. So you need to call on allies that you have made.
Very much so, yes. I'm fully of that opinion. And the other side of it as well is that we have been a level, I believe at the time, 10 party doing this, where we fought a challenge rating 25, 27 encounter, and we didn't kill the encounter.
We survived.
We survived the encounter, which was the purpose of this one.
Yes, it was an endurance test.
Yes, which, thankfully, the three of us that were there, it's like, oh, an endurance test for these three? Fuck it, we can have it.
We can do it.
Limped out of the fight. We did it! But we did it!
We did do it.
I also had a lot of fun. Blue, unfortunately, might not register what this means, but... so, in Elden Ring, the quote-unquote final boss you fight, he has like a... He has essentially the equivalent of Misty Step, but it's like a beam of golden light picks him up and teleports it, like, shunk up and then shunk back down, kind of thing. And that's what I was doing this fight, was with using Misty Step. I was using it like lightning, just dash, like lightning of gold, just going.
Actually, I've had an accident and lost his voice for 2 weeks. Oof, that's big. Oof.
So sorry to hear.
Yeah, I can understand though, because sometimes I've like gone too hard on a bit on stream, and I've woken up the next day and I'm like, oh no, and I have to stream again today.
Hey guys, welcome to my stream. Like the voice I used to do, which I'm kind of deterred from doing by people nowadays, is when they're going, Wazowski, you didn't file your paperwork last night.
Yeah, it's one of those ones of like, just because you can do a voice doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. It's like, you can do that, but your vocal cords shouldn't let you do that, because that's going to hurt. Don't let it happen again.
I'm watching you, Jack. He ran after kids slipped and fell and hit his throat on a chair. Jesus Christ!
Thank goodness the only thing that's happened is his voice is sore.
Yeah, he could have crushed his windpipe doing that. Jesus Christ!
Well, wishes and speedy recovery
yeah,
to them.
I hope he gets better, and good lord, I hope it doesn't happen again. I blame the kids.
Is this Tala or is this Blue? JK. So yes, chat. We fought on. There was a hilariously adorable moment of Willow Blight was knocked down by this big monster. It wasn't really like fighting with any intelligence. It was just, pointed in a direction and it kept killing. Which is kind of like what it was intended for. So it knocked down Willow Blight, and on Sada's turn before Thane's, Thane went, I can get him up if you want to do something else. And she goes, no, I've got this. And just uses the 7th level spell Heal.
It's so funny. I'm sorry, but it was so funny.
It was. I believe it was you that said it, that in fairness, wouldn't have been able to do that if I hadn't gotten her up.
Yes. But just a little, it's okay, buddy, don't feel bad.
Yeah, that's kind of like it's okay, buddy, gonna do the It's like, I could do one big heal once. Don't ask for it twice. It's like paladins have some competent or like kind of reliable for like ongoing or long stage event kind of heals, like is it Aura of Vitality, I believe it is, which is quite a nice one itself, where you essentially buff up yourself, and for 10 turns then you heal everyone around you for 2d6, or you heal one person for 2d6 per turn for 10 turns, so you do 20d6 of healing, which that's not bad over 10 minutes, or over a minute, pardon me. So it's got its benefits.
Yeah.
Another one of those, the paladin has to get absolutely targeted, because if they don't, well, they're not going down. They're going to make sure no one else does. So the fight ended with this mage basically getting beaten in by Thane, who teleported next to her and wailed on her, until she fled from Thane and was like preparing to cast other spells, and Thane just went, counter spell, you ain't doing none of that, love. No, pardon, Thane didn't. It was like, oh, she's gonna cast a spell, make a wisdom save. And I'm like, do I counterspell? I looked at the realization that I have a +7 to wisdom and went, I'm just gonna roll. I got a 19 and a 19 and went, which 26 do you want, Pearls?
Yay!
It then walked away and I hit it. And Zal went, is it away from all my friends? Yes. Okay, fireball.
Fireball! Once again, Fireball solves our problems. It shouldn't end this way, but it often does.
Yes. When in doubt, fireball is a useful tool.
Yeah, I'm sure Core can vouch in this regard.
Yeah.
So
But it
often
says,
the
like-
case, though.
Can't deny the utility of a fireball. A paladin's smite is a personal delivered letter to one person. A fireball is to whom it may
To whom
concern.
it may concern. Did somebody say my name? We might as well have done.
Yeah, we said the word fireball. I think if we say it 3 times, you appear like in a row without must be spoken unbroken. You'll fucking appear next to us. But yeah, chat. We had a lot of fun in that.
Yes, we always have a lot of fun in D&D.
Yeah.
We're back at it. We're back at it more regularly now. We've said this a few times in chat, but yeah, we took a break for a while because obviously people were busy with a lot of things, not just one person, but multiple people were. And we got to have a few sessions again.
Yeah. On the other side, as well as that, we used to have, for those who are somewhat newer, we used to have a session a week on a Wednesday, but that is because I was doing a course in November. That got taken up by Curls and Blue running Dragon Age for the period. So
I find that so bizarre. Like literally, a lot of people who watch me regularly will have never seen our D&D games because they started watching me regularly when Dragon Age happened. Dragon Age is not our normal thing. We have been doing it for like 6 months, but it's not our normal thing. It was a filler for when we could come back to D&D because Das had to go do a course for 6 months. Das has now finished the course, but because we're so far into Dragon Age, we want to finish Dragon Age before we start D&D again.
That, and I'm trying to get a job, so
yeah.
This will be quite a nice thing of a, hey, this will be fun for myself for the future. Is like a because I am beginning to like look at prepping again.
Ooh.
And like what I want to do, and I have ideas for it, and I hope it'll be entertaining for all of you guys what I intend to do next.
I just hope that you guys will find it enjoyable because obviously I think the thing with a lot of D&D streams is obviously because we are in the game and interacting with one another. There isn't really any chat interaction, which I know is what a lot of people like at streams. So it's probably just going to have to be one of those ones where it's background noise for people. Like if nothing intense is happening and people are talking in chat. In the past, I have also typed in chat in order to engage with people. But if we're in the middle of combat or I'm role playing with someone, I'm not going to be reading chat because I'm in the zone. So we'll see how it goes.
Yes. Sometimes chat, there'll be an intense RP happening over something that I, the DM, have caused, and just go, wow, that's crazy.
Anyway.
You guys believe that? God, who would let this happen to these poor people? God, who would make such a tragic thing occur?
Oh no! Anyway.
I won't be like that. I'll be crying. Whilst I'm also just sharpening the knife again to stab them for a second time. It's like, oh, it's so sad.
Chat as an extra character player. No! Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I will say this, though. I will throw this out. We can do a stream once where I will create an NPC if we get Blue to 100 subs.
Yeah, we could totally do that.
Like, I will happily create an NPC.
We could do a celebration stream.
Yeah. If we get 100 subs.
I feel like it would be fun. It would be like Twitch plays Pokemon, but it'd be Twitch plays D&D.
But it won't be a Twitch plays D&D. It'll more just be a Twitch creates an NPC, which I will then use in D&D. And I promise I won't just go, hello, I'm Blurbo the Florbo, and they just get killed by a rock. Anyway, the campaign moves on. I won't do that. But what if one of the players kills him? Well, that's on the player. You can all be mad at that player.
I'm futzing with this so much, but I just can't. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, no matter what I'm doing, it just doesn't look.
Doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right, and I'm like, well, just get rid of this strand. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I regret buying that paint, the primer base, because it has kind of given like a chalky kind of like dirty feel to this, and it's not really what I want.
Right.
But that's a hindsight for next time.
Yeah, you learn what works for you.
Yeah. The goal is to, get the job and then just sit there and go, here's a fun thing. I'm gonna buy a dreadnought, and just go and buy a dreadnought. But I believe it was Boz that said it earlier for kit bashing that yes, you can put other things together, and in fact, I believe in the art channel, the model I have there, which is being scrolled around in that little video, is actually I have from him a hammer from a different model, and a Necron head from the Necron troops unit. And it's for a player that I've engaged with quite a lot, who I've learned a lot playing with and against. Primarily how much I hate Necrons, but... well, fuckers just won't stay dead. But...
I laugh on Spook's behalf.
Yeah. Not even Spooks, another bastard. But it's in honor of them, and... a running gag of like my character staying with the Necron unit until it kills it to make sure it stays fucking dead because it's annoying me. So yeah, it's kind of that, and its cloak was created with green stuff as well. So there was and its torch on the back of it was created with a. Fair enough. That's luck cookie.
Gotta go 3D printer work tomorrow. Oh, okay. Is it the fancy one or is it a normal one? Because I've spoken with Cookie about this in VRChat. Cookie works in a place that apparently can 3D print metal.
Ooh.
Writing an OS, as you do.
That's gotta be a challenge. Goodness. Okay. I believe that is a solid base layer for a lot of this stuff.
Metal, titanium, gold, yeah. Ah!
Oof. Is that all?
Wild. Necromancer that brings metal scraps to life like weak robots.
Yes, I'm very aware. But they're not weak robots. They're absurdly resilient little fuckers.
A lot more materials like ceramic. You can 3D print. Oh. You can 3D print ceramic.
That's.
I mean, I guess it's just clay.
Yeah, but like doing it to the correct consistency would be the interesting challenge.
Yeah, and obviously it must be like it would have to air dry like instantly.
Yeah, that has to go into. Okay, Cookie, I call bullshit.
He's making it up.
Make yuppie as you go along, my friend. Pixar didn't happen. I'm just joking.
No, I'm pretty sure legally they're not allowed.
Yeah, no, it's that was a joke for legal reasons and other. That was a joke. Look, if
I could send photos, but I'd have to kill you.
Wait, you'll kill me? Send me the photos. Do it.
Shut up.
I gotta have some jokes.
Boo! Get better jokes. We hate to use it for the cleanup. Oof, I bet. Oh, that's messy.
Oh, shush, you're fine. Brock made me feel guilty. She just quietly whispered, "What about me?" And it's like, ah.
Good.
Now you've given me the guilt.
Good.
How dare? No. Let me have my gallows humor.
It's not gallows humor. It's self-depreciation, and we do not stand for it.
How dare?
We can print PLA up to 2 meters square. Jesus, that's a big one. And we can print car parts. Yikes. You will love yourself or we will love you for you. This is a threat. Correct, Court.
Anyway, I'm just focusing on looking at this over here now as a reference base.
Look.
Black, steel.
You need to be looking yourself.
I'm working on it. And stop staring at me with them big old eyes. just the thunk.
I got bonked.
Right. That's a base layer done. So, well, for some of the pieces. Now I have to do the other ones in a different base layer. Oh, I haven't done the head yet. I actually need a smaller brush now. Yay! I don't have to use a giant fucking brush. I can use a small one. I much prefer using the small ones, honestly.
Send picture tomorrow if my boss lets me. I mean, if he lets you, can you put it in the public Discord? Because I want to see.
I imagine it might be able to send it on a personal thing, but might not be able. Look, I said this quite literally as a joke. Do not risk or do anything in regards to your work that might get you in trouble at all. Don't even worry about even asking the question. Sincerely, it was a joke.
Yes.
For legal reasons, it was a joke. Was not a.
I have a couple of NDAs running. They say casually. So that's just a couple of NDAs. It's fine. It's just a couple of legal orders.
It's a couple of legal orders.
Yeah, just some non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah, just a few, says he.
It's a crazy old world, huh?
Yes.
This is not the War Thunder forums!
Or the Minecraft servers, apparently.
Or a Minecraft Discord, yeah!
Christ alive. Who would have thought, place. Like, you could have thought 10 years ago that would happen? Christ, so many things would have tried to kill video games so quickly. If even 20 years ago, something like that was presented as a potential.
Like, I've barely made any changes to this hair, and I'm still just like,
Me staring at this dreadnought be like... They released new rules today as well for the 10th edition of what they're going to be doing with certain things in regards to how their magic will work and such, and it actually is a really cool looking system. Quite legitimately, it looks like what they're changing with it will be quite nice. Because previously, there was a phase where all the psychic stuff happened in. Now they're changing it up to being certain effects are done on certain phases. So, oh, this is a movement-based effect? Okay, this will be done on the movement phase. For example. And now, rather than it being hey, this psychic effect has a chance of causing your character to have their head explode, quite literally sometimes. But now it's a case of you can do the same for a less damaging variant, or you can risk it and do the more dangerous one.
You're being asked to check Discord.
Discord? What the That looks like the guy who does the ridiculous cake things.
Goddamn chocolate guy?
Yeah. Like, in that way of how the texture looks of that, just from the preview. If it didn't have to make me look at a 30-second unskippable. Okay, Cookie. All due respect, I can't watch that. And the reason I can't watch that, Cookie, is simple. I want to eat concrete now.
Nom nom nom, forbidden chocolate.
Forbidden candy.
Nom,
It
nom,
is
nom,
forbidden
nom.
candy. Like,
Right,
no.
I might try converting this into a mesh.
Shit.
Let's do an increment.
The nibble.
Crunch.
That's a nibble, honey.
Crunch.
If not food, then why food shape?
Give the crunch. Baker's chocolate, yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, the thing about dreadnoughts as well, like why these like siege leviathans are so impossible to make nowadays, is because they have what's referred to as automatic shielding, which I know just sounds like I just made up a word, but that's what 40k is all about. That's what 40k is all about.
Fair.
It's like, oh yes, look at the Codex Astartes. Oh yes, look at the oh yes, let's go to Holy Terra and worship the Emperor upon the Imperius Maximus. And it's like, oh, and what do you call Mars? Mars.
He's making it up.
Yeah, Mars is just called Mars.
What's okay. I love that all sci-fi genres that are trying to be sci-fi are just like, Earth is called Terra, and it's like, it's uh-huh.
That just means Earth.
Uh-huh.
That just means dirt. In a different language. Boz is just wants to be an old witch who lives in the woods and lures children out like Hansel and Gretel.
So does Earth. It's all dirt. That's what we mean, Core. It's like, we're gonna call it Terra because it sounds cool. And it's like, it's just dirt. You don't need to just call it Earth.
Like, you're changing the name of it to sound cool. When in a place where, like, you know, a person could stop and think that isn't the author would go.
Sci-fi, and it's like, no, just stop. Cringe.
Your name is not Rabute Gilliman, your name is Bob. Corpse layer. There's my other Wa flesh base. Perfect.
If I was making a PC avatar, I probably wouldn't bother with deleting these faces. But since we're doing a quest avatar, we've got to trim the faces wherever we can. So, because these are not going to be seen, because this is where they touch the body, I'm equipping them. I'm going to equip them out.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to give myself a little bit of wiggle room just because the hair might lift up a little bit when we add in the physics. I think that's probably enough.
So Blue, just to get a little bit more of that little Warhammer stuff there, the one of the newest guys to return to the setting was the Primarch Lionel Johnson. I think I mentioned him last time we were on, that he had been like, you know, everyone was thinking, is he going to come back? Is he not? He has, and his model is just basically, what if Charles Dance was 12 foot tall? and just built like a shit brick house. For those who don't know who Charles Dance is, Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones. So he's come back, and they hyped up for a bit that he was going to fight Angron. This is the guy who's the evil Red Angel, big angry, the Balrog looking guy.
I can say one thing, one of my machines is going to Mars, but I can't say what it does yet.
The fuck, Cookie?
I would ask you what you do, but it feels like you're not allowed to tell me.
Cookie, are you one of those people who's like, oh, you're the one who gets run down to the start of the sci-fi film because you were leaking shit? Just fucking stop it right now before we become complicit. I don't want to be chased.
Indeed. Uh-huh.
I'm glad you specified that indeed to be I'm not allowed to tell you rather than the actually no, I am going to do it and then you're going to be chased down by like psi operatives or some shit. So he shows up, he returns, and he shows up to fight Angrand. And he's basically like a paladin, essentially. But he can do some weird, like, jumping around, teleporting stuff just by himself without anyone else. Except for, like, these little weird guys who exist on his world, which are basically just like a plot thing of like, well, how can this character from this world who doesn't have any psychic powers do this? These weird little guys did it for him. Are we going to ever explain these weird little guys? No. And he fights Angrand. And for whilst the big battle to end the Arcs of Omen stuff is happening, and everyone else is in there throwing their weight around, Angrand is able to do absolutely nothing because he just can't get past the lion. He just can't get past him because the lion is too good a duelist to be killed by him. Like, he can hold him remarkably well. And the turning point of the fight is when Angrand gets killed and banished back to the warp by the lion. Which again, it's like, oh yeah, here's this really cool character. We just hyped up his model in November and he looks super cool. Want to see him get his shit pushed in 4 months? Guess what? You're going to see it now. And that's basically what happened. And it's like, oh, okay. But it ended with him looking to the little guys and saying, hey, I need to find my brother. Bring me to Rabuta Gilliman. Which, this is probably going to be a very interesting thing because it's the first time in 10,000 years two loyalist Primarchs have met. Because they've not been able to. So, Rabuta Gilliman's basically been trying to hold the Imperium together as best he can, but he's just one guy, he can only do so much, and it's so overwhelming. Now he's got his brother back. So he's not going to be alone anymore in that fight, and there's a nice thing to that. Just waiting for Vulcan to come back and big old brother hug them both and just lift them both in the air. Because that would be fun. But yeah, we have his return. But update DM to channel some Warhammer elements. No. Oh well, if you want to go ahead. if you're gonna update that model sheet, go ahead, love. I will not complain about you doing stuff with DM.
You're just making a persona.
Yes.
Call it what it is.
Personas can have a character sheet, reference sheets.
Yes, that's not the bit I'm.
It's almost like I'm trying to divert from the bit you're making.
Just embrace it. Just make it full dragon like Voz.
No.
Yes, it's cool.
No.
Yes.
My persona, I can do what I want with it.
Try it. See, Voz is like, join in. Make a
Voz,
dragon.
no.
Make a dragon.
I have a dragon. Their name's Madrash.
Madrash your persona?
No. I swear to God, at one point I'm going to look back up at the screen and you're going to jump scare me being at full screen again, just going, do it.
Now I want to play D&D as an Avali. Funny you should say that.
Is an Avali just a Daz the Dashing Dragon?
Aww.
The persona dealer. I take that
I
as
am the
a
persona dealer.
I take that as a sincere compliment, because speaking of a sincere compliment involving DM, I'll never forget what you told me once, Blue, that you had done in a personal stream of yours with another very, very famous DM and my DM, Sona.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, we made DM. We were talking about DM sonas.
And you had cameoed my DM Sona in your
in my
setting.
game, yeah, with other DMs, because that was the kind of nerd that I was, where I made DMs that I liked NPCs in my campaign, and that includes you because you are a DM that I like. Hey kid, you want a persona?
Hey kid, want to buy a persona?
I told you guys we could do a government assigned persona stream where I just design personas for people who don't want them. Yeah, so my Avali has some lore. Yeah. Oh, Blue's got lore as well. I think a lot of people give lore to their sonas. Some people it is literally just a one-to-one of my sona is me, but some people do a sort of double thing of like they're both my sona, but also they have story attached to them. We've already paid for Spooks for Sona. No, we haven't.
That requires a lot more money. Imagine that you being payer money. Yeah, like DM is just me as a creative, but like has the what would be called like the reality bending effects of just like they're the storyteller. So they look at a story and go, no, I don't need that element. Or okay, that element's happened. It exists for too long, can't be changed. So let's put this happy little notion in here now as a karmatic repaying, shall we say. And stuff like that, because as we all know full well, I'm very much so one of those people who it's like, sadness, like in a Don Bluth film, sadness can happen. Like, tragedy is okay. If narratively it serves a purpose. If you're only doing it to hurt the character and ergo hurt the viewer, and that's not what they're there to do, like, you know, it's not like a cathartic release of, I'm going to go watch this character get sad and then put it down and walk away from it, then, you know, you're doing yourself and your audience a disservice. So I'm always like, now put a happy moment in there. I was like, is this a tragic, fucked up, really, really, really in pain character? Yes. And we're going to give them a little happy note here. And that's going to be their thing. Going to give a little happy ending right here.
Little Bob Ross.
Yeah. And then we're going to give them somebody for a ship so that this little happy Blorbo has another little happy Blorbo.
Yay. Oh, Discord wants to update, not while we stream, we know.
Did you just hear...
A little bit, yeah.
Frog chanting shiny happy Blorbos.
We've heard the end bit.
I love you, hon.
Just heard happy Blorbos, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was talking about this with someone a while back. About stuff like, say, even with Fame, for example, where I'm like, there's a part of me where I was like looking at stuff that I was writing for him because I got a really interesting prompt about like, what would peace be for Fame? And it's like, oh, the evil has been beaten here, but he's dead, is the synopsis of it. Like, peace for him would be, he doesn't have to fight anymore, there's no more pain. But I look at that and go, not as a malicious, no, you're going to keep going to suffer. It's like, no, you should keep going to live. Same thing that he's other characters, yours included, to do is like, you keep going to live. So it was an interesting thing where like there was this hang in the back of my head of like, the character might want this, but I as the writer or the owner of the character do not want it.
Yeah, I've had that before. I'm just like, obviously the character wants this, and I'm like, but I don't, because I'm dumb.
I like having a happy ending, which is very valid.
Yes.
would be an interesting thing if like one of the four did end at the end of the Occard arc, but like by that measure as well, it'd be like, well, if they ended at that point, the campaign wouldn't continue with the three of them and a new guy. Like I don't feel like they would. They would it'd probably end up being like 4 new characters.
Yeah. When it comes to stuff like that, I'm always just in the boat of we'll see what happens. Because the game is too
fluid,
variable. Yeah, literally too many things can happen. That's why I don't tend to, especially with D&D characters, I don't think too much about what would happen in their future. Like a lot of the stuff that I would write and draw tends to be in their past, because that's more concrete. But when it comes to their future, because so much can happen in D&D, I'm like, it's not even worth me thinking about it because it's so infinitely variable that nothing could happen or anything could happen.
Like, that's a very fair point. Of like, there was a period of time where Tala was petrified.
Yep.
Tala was legitimately petrified, and like that was like it, character out, and got undone, and it's like, well, here's the change. And it's like, yeah, but how did that change occur? Because it wasn't like, oh, the DM knew a player had a solution. No, the player's god gave him a solution, and she told him, "You'll know when to use this." And there's a friend in pain there going, "Well, I know when to use this. Push that button." I guess as well, like I do tend to think about what Thane wants in the future, less say of what will happen. Because like what he wants is good, because that's a driving force. It's also good because then it's like it's a thing that's like in character, set in stone of like the character will want this no matter what. Campaign starts from the beginning. No. I honestly think that might be like a form of hell for Thane, of like this campaign to start from the beginning again. It's like, no, please. Because, you can look at all those possibilities of like, well, what would happen there? But, no, I don't think that would like start the campaign again from the beginning would be a thing.
Oh, hello.
Like a new game plus? No, you can't. I really don't think you should new game plus D&D. I really don't think that's...
I did. It was called Kika.
No. You did different. That would imply that you did an entirely new game. All the players are doing the same characters. Like, it's the same intro, but you're like, oh, doing it again. But at a higher difficulty. Everything is scaled up. It's like, it not really fits D&D in my opinion. Like, when I've seen people who are like, oh, you'll start the campaign again at your current level and it'll be scaled up. I've never really been a fan of that concept myself.
Right, I see.
It kind of feels almost like a, how do I say this right? Because I don't want to be dismissive of it either.
I think at the end of the day, it's just the long and short of it is it's not what D&D was designed to do. D&D is not a video game. It wasn't designed to be run like that. If that's what you want, you need a different tabletop system. There probably is a tabletop system that is better built to support something like that. 5e D&D is not it.
Like a Curse of Strahd style campaign where it's like, oh, your corruption stays across, kind of thing. That would be an interesting like concept. But like, you'd have to go at it with that in mind. Because if you've got ideas for what your character will do in the future, and you're like, your DM just goes, nope, back to square one. It's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Of course, we've had that fun thing of time travel being presented of, you go back to the start of this day, what do you do? And it's like, well, no, you can't do anything, because if you do, you'll alter what happens. So you physically cannot do this. And it's like, Because I remember Thane sitting in that camp thinking he can't go and help Ophelia. He can't go and do this or that or any of these other things. And it's like, that ate him.
I will say I did see it executed well in the Adventure Zone, but literally that was like it wasn't a campaign, it was like a chapter of the campaign, and because it was a chapter, it was localized. It was literally called The 11th Hour. It was just an hour that was being repeated. So, you know, it's not like they're being rolled back and you know, they're leveling up and getting good items and stuff. It was literally time is being wound back, so they weren't keeping their items and they weren't keeping anything that they gained. It was just knowledge that they were keeping, and it was just an hour, so it didn't overstay its welcome. Like, I don't think I would have enjoyed. I don't think a campaign of that would have been good, but it was good for the chapter that it was.
I did, like, you know, at one point think about the thought of what would happen if, like, the pop party kept their memories, but got launched back in time to the day of the celebration of the death of Imrith. Like, what would that do? Because, of course, it's like, when does everyone meet up again? And it's like, well, okay, you have to know when this person meets up, or like maybe one person has the memory and knowledge of it and has to find everyone and like interact and engage with them to try and get those memories back. Like, and get their memories back. Like, you could do like a fast, like a cool potential speed run kind of thing of one person remembers it and has to try and remind everyone else of it. That could be a fun concept.
It could be a fun concept for like a one-off special thing. The problem is as well is that, especially if we took like the pop party for an example, you'd have to be careful which person you pick because each character would react differently. Because there are some characters who potentially would go, no, you know what, no, I'm gonna leave it because it's better this way.
Yeah. And that would be the interesting element of like, will this character do that? Would they do it in this moment? Or would there be like, say, I imagine like, say, a Kika, for example, would probably actually try to panic warn her parents of like what's about to happen, potentially.
And it's like it's an interesting scenario. It's not necessarily an interesting game because obviously the key thing for a game, as it seems some people sometimes forget, given all the horror stories that exist online, is that everybody needs to have fun. So it's a fun scenario to think, oh, what would your character do? But the thing is the thing that your character does might not be fun for the other players.
Like a cool concept could potentially be a thing of like, you get like, here's a fun one, right? I'll throw the scenario because it might be entertaining. It's like the Okar party, one character gets sent back before the war happened. All their knowledge, all their skills, and they could fix all their problems and never have to leave their home. Would they? You know, like that kind of presentation would be very interesting.
Yeah.
But because that could be like the villain's way of like, I'm going to get rid of you. You're not going to be in this setting, in this timeline. You're going to be gone. I won't have to deal with you anymore. That could be how they present it, which is an interesting way to present it, I think. But
yeah, like you said, it's an interesting scenario.
Yeah. Again, scenarios. I will say,
playing with the fusion generator, and it's being a PCA to find to make a blue dog with wings. It's surprising there isn't already a Pokemon like that, frankly. But yes.
I will say, Voz, it was all a dream. Is one of my. It's all a dream to dismiss what somebody went through. I hate. Like, you're very invested in the story, and you wake up and you realize it was only a dream. I dislike.
Conversely, we like the opposite of it, though, of like not using "it's a dream" to dismiss it, but if anything, using "it's a dream" to validate it, because obviously we've both had campaigns where it's been a situation of like, I had a really weird dream, and everybody goes, oh, what was the dream? And then they explain it, and everybody goes, oh, that's not good.
What do you mean, guys? This is my Thursday dream. What are you on? Why are you guys all like reacting this way? And it's like, oh no.
That's where magic games are fun, because obviously it's just like, oh, someone is the big bad is trying to talk to you in your dreams. I'm sure that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine that they can get into your brain. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, Tala. Yeah, Tala. Yeah,
Don't
I'm
look at
sure
me.
it's fine, Tala. I'm
It's
sure there's no problems with
fine.
it at all.
Nobody needs to
Tala.
worry. I have it under control.
Except for literally everyone, and the fuck you do.
I have plans.
That's what's worrying me.
Good.
No! Don't worry me, worry Mara. Make that bitch sweat. See ya, Cookie.
Bye! Sleep well, friend.
Yeah, I have one interview at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and then I have the other one at 2 p.m.
Fair enough. So you won't be hanging about after stream then.
No, I won't be, but the other side of it is I'm going to have one come home, sit down, think, and wait for the other one.
Yeah. Best of luck.
Which means I'm making you lunch.
Please, honey, thank you.
Yay!
Frog lunch. Lunch made by Frog. I'm not jinxing it, but I am quite hopeful because of what I was told about the 9 a.m. one. Guy was like, oh yeah, last 3 guys I sent over to this thing, all of them have like gotten jobs from it. And I'm like, please? I will work hard.
Just endlessly now fighting the urge for interviews of like, why do you want this job? To just be like, I need money.
Yeah. Yeah, Spook sent me on a wonderful video for stuff about interviews, and I may have listened to some of his other ones as well after the fact, and very insightful. Do appreciate that he sent it to me.
Sleep in the car in the next location, but the bed replaced with the car
No,
seat.
Boz.
No, that's a bad idea.
Boz, I've slept in my car before. I'm not doing it again.
No.
As someone who has done it before, I can highly ill-advise it. Do not do it. I'm not sure ill-advise was the right word, but you know what I mean. I thought I was doing myself a favor by having this in as 5 pieces to paint. I should have this in about 8 pieces to be more convenient to paint.
Different strokes. I'm the kind of person who would prefer this to stick everything together and then paint it.
Well, here's the thing, is that there's so many intricate little pieces, is that to paint one piece, you have to get in and under kind of thing. And you have to make sure you don't touch the other one. Because then when you paint the other one, you're going to touch this one if you're not careful as well, so... Cycle. So what I'm going to do is one of these shoulder pieces, I'm going to varnish them and put the Salamander's white dragon on them. One of my most recent white dragons I put on one of these as well. I was actually really proud of it. It came out banging. It looked really nice. It was one of those ones where I was like, okay, I can't put another... I literally would not put another coat on it for fear of fumbling what I've done here, because you know where you just get just enough liquid and it just gets exactly as much as you need. It doesn't overflow, but it's not too light either, and it's like, not touching it. Leave it the fudge alone. This guy is going to take so long to paint because it's like, okay, well, I have to do this piece in this color, and then I have to put this piece next to it in this color, and then I have to put this piece next to that in this color, and then I have to make all these work around, and then I have to move on to the next layer underneath that again. Repeat, 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 ad nauseum. Good news is that I'll have a piece to work on for a good long while now. Also, I have seen that the Games Workshop inside in Cardiff has these foam suitcases.
Oh yeah, we've got one of them.
Yeah. Needless to say, if I get
They're
a
very
job,
good.
needless to say, if I get a job, that is a thing that my minis will be
Yes.
going into for traveling. But to actually keep them here, I will get an IKEA shelf with glass, either glass or grated, and stick them in there.
Yeah, we forked out for like the biggest one that they did, because we did look around and we were like, genuinely, Games Workshop, obviously expensive, but it is good, and we need a way to transport these minis, because obviously we bought a bunch of D&D minis, but we didn't have our own place at the time, so it was like, well, we are taking these minis to and from our friend's house where we are playing D&D, so we need a way to transport them.
Yeah, which only makes sense, goodness, of course. Daisy did research it, but has gone against it because like of how difficult it would be and how expensive the materials would be. But she does know, she has the factual knowledge of how to make a marketable plushie hurry.
Aww.
As in like a squishable.
Aww.
But yeah, it's not going to work out because it's like the value of it as well. And the other problem is that if she did make one, it's like everyone would want one.
Yes.
Everyone will want a squishable hurry. So she's like, but I want a hurry. It's like, too bad. Make 8 more. So yeah. Honestly, it's kind of cool though. I love her talking about him.
Yes.
Let's see. How does that look? Like absolute pants. I'll have to hope that another little cover will resolve this. Oh yeah, that was another thing I was going to mention as well before the stream started. Held it off as a talking point. Was I was interacting with a artist who was on Reddit, but was also on Twitter with their Warhammer minis, and she, I believe she, a trans woman, had made a Space Marine Sister of Battle, which is like the women in like the equivalent of like Space Marine armor, but made them with trans colors, and you probably saw it on like my personal one. I retweeted it. It's absolutely gorgeous. They had the color scheme up and everything else, and they were getting a lot of flack with it. So I was just like, popping into the chat and just go, hey, thank you for this. This is awesome. I can't wait to do something similar to this with my Terminators. I'm glad that this is showing me, one, that this can be done, and two, it can be done very well. So thank you.
Aww.
And yeah. And they were like, let me know if you're ever doing any of the other Pride colors. I will assist you with that. But the other one was like color coding specific Terminators from that new set that's coming out. And it's like, do I make one like have a hammer and just put them in the bisexual colors? Do I give one like all these other like jokes and like those kind of things, like
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I swing both ways violently with a thunder hammer. For the Emperor. I am looking forward to the next edition though, because the space bugs, the Tyranids, are the main antagonist for it, essentially, or like the main antagonist for the beginning of it, I should say. And it's going to be one of those things of, oh god, people are swarming the boards with dozens upon dozens of these models. Whatever will we do? Like, oh no, if only we had flamethrowers. Anyway, call them all. It'd be wonderful. Because the big guy here, he is God. He has got. He is got. You heard it here first.
He is got.
Goodbye, guys. I'm going to leave now. Goodbye.
Gotta go bed. Got interview in the morning.
I got brain. No. He has 2 heavy flamers, and he has 2 meltagun, or he has a meltagun and a auto cannon on 2 different arms. And the meltagun is, so a flame weapon, they use what's referred to like promethium. It's like base lighter fluid, basically. Hang on a sec. What is Core messaging me? Stairs in V-Rising, what do you think? I haven't used any stairs myself. That would be for the others. My one has been on one flat surface, so I've not needed to use stairs. But if you have any geography next to you to complement using stairs, I'd highly recommend it, because it makes your place dope. It also gives you an access point to higher levels, which is cool. But it's basically space lighter fluid, for lack of a better term. And what you can do is you get these other things which are like, they add an extra element, or I think it is, for melta weapons into the promethium, and it gets launched like, it's not plasma, but it's like an equivalent of like a flame weapon equivalent of plasma. God damn it, I didn't get close properly last time. And it's basically like anti-tank kind of shots, right? So it's like, oh, one thing shoots this gun, it's big, just one big heavy thunking shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine a gun like that, but it's a Gatling gun. And it's on the arm of a very large man who can look over the building you're hiding behind and go, hello. So yeah, I'm very excited to use him. But what's quite cool as well is that weapons in some weapons in 40K, they have different rules categorizations for like, oh, this gun is a big, like, difficult to move heavy gun. Okay, well, what is it? Well, it's a heavy gun. So that means that infantry that you try to use it, if they move around, it's actually harder for them to shoot with, because they're repositioning constantly with this big heavy gun. But vehicles don't have that issue. Dreadnoughts count as a vehicle. Because, well, there is a guy piloting it. Then stairs is in adding stairs so you can make additional floors. I haven't done that yet, Core, at all. Honestly, I haven't even remotely considered or tried that yet. So that's entirely not my purview, my man, I'm afraid. So, these guns, these Cyclone Melta Lances, are what are referred to as a heavy blast weapon. Blast weapons are, you roll a dice, and that's how many attacks you get to make to hit with this thing. Because it's like, oh, that's like how good the blast effect was. Because this thing is like, like a concentrated shot. But you don't have to roll if there's more than a certain number of models in a unit, and you get like a minimum number when there's like a few less. So it's like that thing of, if you're targeting like very small elite units, you're gonna have to roll. Are you targeting a swarm with this thing? You ain't gonna have to roll. You're probably gonna do maximum shots, which is just gonna kill anything it hits. Like almost guaranteed kill something. So it's a lot of fun of just going, hello, here's my anti-tank gun. Now watch me turn it into anti-infantry. And then they get too close, and then I use my anti-infantry guns. All the while, everyone else in my army is having the time of their lives. We are entering the quiet part of the stream where we're both
Yes.
focusing.
It is late at night and we are concentrating.
Save.
Thank you.
It's easier than me reaching across, touching my keyboard and trying to do it. I'm gonna have to wash my hands so much to make sure I have no green on my fucking hands when I come in for the interview at 9.
Oof.
Well, if they ask if there's any gardening involved, you should show your fingers.
Hey.
Don't encourage her. That's a joke. Please encourage her in everything. She's wonderful. I love her. The straightest thing in this apartment is my love for her, and that's about it.
Okay, no.
What? Fine, don't love you then, fucking bitch.
And there I was about to be like, see, the difference between our relationships is that when Spook insults me, he doesn't say, that's a joke. He just leaves it there and insults me.
Sorry, honey, what did you say?
You beat yourself up.
That wasn't me beating myself up. I'm gay as fuck. The only thing straight in this entire house is my love for you.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something else.
Okay.
She just presumed I insulted myself.
Yeah, I was just like, what about that statement was an insult, exactly?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're my dumbass and shut your mouth. You're not allowed to insult yourself. I'm not allowed to insult myself. Guess what? Uno reverse. You're not allowed to insult yourself. Yeah, back at you.
It's true.
It's true, and they should say it. I'm gonna give him red eyes, because that's fun.
As a treat.
Yeah. So I got told very specifically when this paintbrush got bought, a league and a time ago, you have to spread it out onto your canvas first with a different brush. So whatever you're doing, you do it on that different brush, and then, and only then, you take it out of its casing and its bits and everything, because it has a case and then it has a cover top. And then you just dip the, literally just like the very, very edge of the brush. And then you just very carefully just in it goes. You just do that a few times, very gingerly, very slowly.
Happy little accidents.
I mean, the dreadnought, the guy's in a dreadnought suit. He's had a happy little accident already. God, he died and got better. Like that. Yeah, okay, this brush will literally only ever be used for incredibly fine details. I like it. Oh yeah, that's coming out very nice. Also, Blue, if you ever need me to do anything around, I know they're doing that core where they're adding the multi-level in Gloomrot. That's what's coming up.
Ah.
That'd be quite cool. Oh, where did my head go? Oh yeah, that was the Blue. If you ever need me to like help you around Halloween time for an art stream, let me know. I'll ask Frog to just put like a PNG afro on my thing, and I'll just do like Bob Ross.
I wondered where you were going with that. I was like, an afro.
Old dragon horn. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the two horns and the afro just sits atop it. Oh yeah, that is kind of like a where the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, where are you going with this?
I'm sorry, what?
This guy was so specific about keeping this paintbrush dry to the point where he was like, what you do is you put it between two pieces of kitchen towel and then you close the kitchen towel, but don't pinch it. So you close it like to, put it tight in against something and then you bring it across. So you're not pulling the strands of it at all. Because it's meant to be used for such very specific, very thin work that I think he was very, I think he's one of those guys who's like seen guys come in with this paintbrush ruined and like used it for way too much where they shouldn't have and has been heartbroken in the past, that kind of way.
Yeah, just someone who it's like, this is their craft, and when they see people mistreat the tool, it's just like painful to them.
I've also seen him clean his paintbrushes with his mouth, so.
Ugh.
He's one of those guys who will like, oh, the paint, it has a taste. And Mr. going, I was respecting you right up until you shoved it in your mouth. And other things I've said for 300. Stop laughing, honey. Just like I can hear the quiet giggles in the corner. If I have the camera on, you'd probably just see her shoulders at her chair just like going up and down. Quiet you. I need just like a little gremlin icon to be sat next to me throughout most of this. Oh yeah, that was like a fun thing we thought about before. Like the little sand dragons that are, or like the little sand frogs. They're like they do the cute little squeaks.
Aww.
Yeah, that, but like on top of a bronze dragon or on top of a gold dragon. In that kind of way of like, oh, it's the pair of them. It's the little frog going, wee, and it's the big dragon. Yes, honey. That's a good squeak. I honestly wasn't sure if it was coming up on stream. Put that over there for now.
Bloody finger on the wrong key again? No spatial awareness.
Yeah, it's getting late. About 10 minutes left, by the way, so if you want to get to a point where you're comfortable with.
Shall we try my damnedest?
You can certainly try, Sachi. Speaking of you can certainly try, did you see Marisha at Creator Clash?
I saw it on Twitter. I mean, I didn't watch any, videos or anything if there were.
I think there was,
She looked amazing.
Yeah, she looked amazing. And there's, a great little thing of Travis trying to give her, essentially, forward sword kind of thing.
I saw them. Yeah, I saw them just supporting.
Yeah.
I love them.
Get you a boss who supports you like Travis Williams supports Marisha Ray. Because he's the COO, the Chief Ops Officer of CR, So, I always find that wild, damn, man. From the guy who years ago was begging his now wife to be like, hey, can I be on Dragon Ball? Did you ever hear that story, Blue?
No.
The first time he'd ever made contact with Laura, because she, I believe, if not Trunks, she did the voice of somebody on DBZ. It was like, yo, can you get me on DBZ? Not that, she did one of the kids,
Yeah.
High pitched feminine voice for them, that kind of way. He's like, yo, could you get me on it? It's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll talk to someone on it. And a week passed and so on, and then he called her back and like, hey, has there been any no pressure, but has there been any update on this? And she's like, oh no.
Aw.
This was at that time when if you got someone's number, you were checking in with them quite regularly on it, kind of thing. And of course then they began meeting up, interacting and so on, and eventually Travis and Laura became a thing. And if you ever want to see the ultimate couples battle, just watch Roy Mustang set Lust on Fire, and it's like, damn, someone didn't want to take care of the kid that day.
Wow.
This is a joke. This is a joke for legal reasons.
We know it's a joke.
But yes, it's always fun to see where they've come from and where they are. speaking of things looking where they're going to as well, Matt's doing something with Dimension 20. Oh
Yes,
yeah,
they
it's
are.
it's Matt's his own campaign is getting like its trailer released, I believe, because I
Ooh,
believe
exciting.
Never Ever After, Never Ever After, whichever it is, Never
Just
After.
too many evers, just never
Anemone,
after. Too many evers.
Anemone. Um, has had its finale done. I believe Carlos has experienced emotions because of that,
It
and
happens.
now it's gonna be Matthew's time.
Mr. Mercer.
Yes. Which means Dimension 20 and CR can do the same meme from Gravity Falls of finally, I have them all.
Yes. I believe it's Dimension. I think someone in the Dimension 20 fandom actually did that the day that they announced it, of Dimension 20 being the one who could be like Brennan Lee Mulligan, Abria Iyengar, Matthew Mercer. We have them all.
Because now both CR and Dimension 20 have had all three of them DM things on each of them. Matt getting to play in Abria's game was a lot of fun to watch for the inter-season, shall we call it, of CR2 to CR3. It was also hilarious because they just, some reason, the voice actress for Adora was there from She-Ra. She had time for life in that. She has a cursed artifact on her head now.
It's because LA be a big melting pot of people who all know each other.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Blue, if you ever want like some nice art inspiration, I'll look it up there. But there's a really nice picture of Marisha with a bloody, like kind of a bloodied nose and blood in the mouth kind of thing, smiling. But like, you know, in that way of like, I've got the adrenaline, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm having fun, I'm punching something. Also, Marisha's like, you know, buffed up. She's gotten swole, girl.
Did you not know that? I was well aware of this.
Here's the thing, though.
I follow
I've been
Marisha on
watching.
Instagram, and I've been aware for months that she's beefy.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Blue. I've been watching her, like, on CR. And she's sat next to Travis most of the time. You can't tell the woman gets big at all. Like, you know, she's next to a beef stick for most of it, you know? So it's like, wait, where did this come from? You know, it just entirely caught me. And then I'm like, I'm not complaining. I'm just questioning where the source is. I want some. But I did see something because in CR2, she's next to Liam on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that's very funny is that Marisha is very animated.
Oh, I've seen this gif before when she elbows them.
No, she's punched him in the face as well once before as well. She straight up smacked him. And someone has just like put, and I think it was actually Liam as well, just put up once, pray for me when we do a Mighty Nine reunion.
Oh no.
Because he'll be next to her and he's like, I'm gonna get the shit knocked out of me. Yes, the other thing I've done here as well is, I was mentioning it earlier, we had gotten these little pieces, and essentially what they are is they've got two little stands that you can hold, and all these little plasticky bits. And what you do is you you can take a little drill, you can take a file, anything that's kind of like, you know, can make a hole, and you put it into the piece at the point where you want it to be held by this. Because they got these little like triangled fork points, right, kind of thing. And what you do is you stick it on. So like, you know, you drill the piece, then you put it there with a bit of glue and it will sit. But it's breakable. So these are meant to be disposable. So what you do is you twist and you snap off the piece, and any excess that's there you can just like scrape and file it off, because that's the part where it's going to get glued anyways, where you've drilled it. So you can just go and sit it in with no bother. So no one will be able to see it if you cut it properly as well. It works. So quite nice, and I quite enjoy it. was gonna say, Blue, I believe we don't have Oakart this week. I think Kay can't make this
Do
one,
we
I don't
not?
think.
Oh, okay.
I think so, I'll have to check.
It'll be in the Discord somewhere because Kay did actually like post a big old.
Yes, to his credit.
It's just a bit of a while back because we flood the channel with memes whenever we have a session.
Yeah, it's my fault. Sorry.
It's literally not since I open it up and I just see like stuff that's from like Kay and from girls. April 20th is a no, and the 27th is a no, and I said that's valid because the 27th probably would have been a no for me anyway. We have got two weeks, so 2 week gap.
2 week gap. Okay, I think that's an okay little head for now.
What have I done here? I've effed this.
Your best.
Effed this in a weird way.
Where's my lead belcher? Are you lead belcher? Oh, you're Dawnstone. Granite. Oil. No, you're wood. Oh, you gotta make me stand up, you son of a bitch. Are you lead belcher? I'm literally reaching into a pot. Iron breaker. Actually, I will need you, but not yet. Dawnstone. Oh, there's been frog updates. Alright, it's like I'll just turn around. Woo! Where the fuck is my lead belcher?
Aww, cute.
Yeah. Get love piece. There it is. I still have to dig for that.
Okay, trimming down some of our faces.
Is it worth beginning trimming down the face because it's 11 o'clock?
What?
Is it worth beginning this if it's 11 o'clock and we're going to start wrapping up?
Beginning what?
I thought you said you were beginning to do something with the faces.
Oh no, I have been trimming down the faces.
Ah, pardon me.
The faces of the mesh. Not the guy's face, the faces of the mesh.
Not the Blorbo's face, the face of the yeah.
As I reiterate every stream of like, because of our compatibility that we're trying to aim for, I'm trying to keep the poly count as low as possible. So once I got the rough shape of this hair in place, I was like, cool. Well, the underside, which will not be viewable, just cut it all out. Just cut it out and try to get it all flowing together. So like I've got this tuft of hair joined in here and seamed into the hair on this side, so it all looks as one bit. Not done that with this one, so that will get done another day. I need to do the same on this side, but I've also basically scooped out the underneath of like you're not going to see that, so it's like, you know, there's probably a good 30-40 faces there that we've maybe saved by trimming out the inside. We are currently at 18k, literally only a tidbit over, which is good. Still a lot to do, lots of little details. This is the thing when you get towards the end. I remember when I started this, I said, oh, I like the start because loads of big changes happen and you can see loads of progress. But this is, now we're getting to the end, it's like when you do loads of little changes, so you zoom out and you're like, I can't see a difference. Because you've just been doing little teeny tiny details.
But it matters, and that's all that does matter.
Yeah. So I'll be back tomorrow doing this. Chat, if you couldn't tell from the fact that Kels wasn't here, Kels is very busy at the moment, and she has confirmed that to me, unless she changes her mind, that she won't be available for Dragon Age tomorrow, which means it's time for Cult of the Lamb again.
Cult of the Fluff.
Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Wolf.
Kalima.
So
Kalima.
yeah, that'll be fun.
Kalima.
So we're going to be doing that tomorrow. Nah.
Have I died yet in that?
Don't think so.
I know I'm old as shit.
I don't think you have. I know that Aaron passed away, and then maybe also maybe got resurrected later. I gotta try to remember not to do what I did last time, because obviously I went a long time in between playthroughs, and remember to turn on the Twitch integration.
Yes, I will try to remind you of that, but honestly, I probably have just started an interview at that point.
You're not obligated to do anything.
Honestly,
I mean, I hope your interview's done at that point, because that's the evening slot.
Yes, but it starts at 2 o'clock, and you usually start at 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock.
For the afternoon slot. Call of the Land is the evening slot.
Sorry, pardon me. Your Sunday. Oh yes.
Look at the
look at the
schedule. We have an afternoon slot and an evening slot. Ta-da! There we go. That was a perfect transition. Perfect transition.
Why, Blue? Why don't you show me?
Ta-da! You guys know the schedule at this point. It's late. We've only got 3 people in, so you know, let's just end the stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for keeping us company as we have been going on our various creative art projects. I will see you tomorrow, and wish Das the best of luck in their interviews. Hopefully, one of them.
Thank you so much.
Fruit. And yeah,
I would like something not a lemon. I'd like not a lemon for once.
Oh my goodness! Right. See you guys tomorrow. Love you all. Take care.
Best of luck, folks. Bye bye.